Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Thank you for stopping by today. I'm so glad that my microphone is working again. I'm so dumb. Sometimes I bought an extra microphone. I bought one that hooked on me, and you might have noticed a difference in my sound a couple videos back, but I put new batteries in my old microphone, and that's what we're using today. I didn't think batteries because it's plugged into my camera, but oh well. Maybe someday I'll show you all the stuff I gathered together to create a studio here if anybody's doing their own channel and interested in that. But today, instead, we have dating advice as per my usual. And I encourage you, if dating advice is your thing, to subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome, because then you get notified if you also hit the ring bell every time a new episode goes live, and you don't miss out on anything. Dating advice today, it's dating apps. So I guess this one goes into the Swipe Life playlist, which is anything that has to do with online dating or dating apps. And today, which dating app is best for you? It's come up a couple times, as you can imagine, with clients this week that we've had conversations about them continuing to date on their own, even while I'm searching for their monthly match. And they wanted to know like which one, and they've tried a couple, but they wanted something free, or there were all different things they were considering. I had some input that I shared with them, and I'm going to share it with you as well. If that's at all intriguing or interesting, stick around. That's what we're talking about. First of all, there is no best app all around, overall best in class type dating app or online dating website. I'm guarding my set here from the cat who is playing with it and trying to destroy things. Just like partners, there is no perfect partner for you. Nobody's perfect, right? So no app is perfect either. Online swiping apps, any of the ones you can use on your telephone or your tablet. Instead, we have to kind of go through them, and it's going to be dependent on certain things you're looking for, where you live, your age, your gender, all these things come into play, but let's talk it through a little bit and see if we can figure out what's going to be best for you. So if personality matters, and why wouldn't it? Under most circumstances, if you're looking for a relationship, personality is going to matter. And in that case, the apps that are going to be most useful to you are the ones who are trying to match personality traits. They're going to use the algorithm in order to match you, and apps like eHarmony and Match.com and any dating site that does an assessment of your personality and is going to align your traits with somebody who has similar traits would be in your best interest. Because if you're just using, for instance, Tinder, you're not going to know much about anybody's personality or the things that are important to you that you want aligned. So you're going to want one that has a big long quiz at the beginning and asks you a lot of questions. I know plenty of fish did that for many years. They may still do that. But more often than not, if personality matters, then your pocketbook is going to come into play too, because those are apps that will charge you and have a membership fee. If you're not sure they're going to be great, then take a 1-month trial. I know it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but if you don't love it, it's going to save you money in the long run. I will share with you that when I was first divorced, I signed up for Match.com, and I found that for me, where I lived, my age, my gender, and my location, I did not find what I was finding appealing and people that I wanted to date. So my funny story is that I changed my first name to my ex-husband's first name. I selected male instead of female. I filled it out, I think, in a really cute way, and I made it for my ex-husband. I turned it over to him. I called him and I said, hey, I've got Match.com for 3 months. I've had it for 3 weeks, and I'm not going to be using it. Here's the login information. Feel free to change the password and see if you can meet anybody. He lived a little, I don't know, about an hour away from me, was a man, maybe looking for something different, I don't know. And he used it for a while. He has a partner now, but they met on Our Time, I think. Our Time is another one that is geared more towards people over 50. That might be something. It does ask you personal questions and try to align you based on preferences and personality traits. So our time is a good one that we could add to this category as well. And I guess to finish up with Match.com and why it didn't work for me is that at the time I was not quite ready to be jumping into another marriage. And I felt that everybody on Match.com that I was running into was very, very serious and wanted to immediately get to something serious. They weren't looking to take their time getting to know somebody. I don't know if they'd been on Match for a while and they kept dishing out money and they're like, gotta find somebody now before my 6 months is over. I gotta get a boyfriend or a girlfriend and get off this app before it expires. But I felt it was like very serious. The men in my age bracket were very intent on having something very serious very quickly, and that wasn't going to work for me months after being divorced. So I didn't enjoy that one, but it might be perfect for you. I wanted to mention here that it sort of matters where you live too, because I know I may have mentioned this to you before, but my daughter and I were both on Bumble at the same time. I'm obviously 27 years older than she is, living in the suburbs. She was 27 years younger than me, living right in the middle of the city of Chicago. And we had very, very different experiences as to how many people were available to us and what people were looking for based on those two differences alone. So age and location played a big part in my experience, and you might want to keep that in mind. Now, if you are looking for something more casual, or you're looking for something serious, but you're willing to take your time, let something grow more slowly, take it as something casual to start and see where that leads you, now you're able to explore more of those apps that start with the picture. If looks matter and learning as you go is right up your alley, then Tinder and Bumble might just be great. It's not that people can't write a little bit about themselves on those apps. And if you are on there, I encourage you to do so. I have other episodes that are about optimizing your dating profile, and I will link to that for you. No. Where am I? I will link to that for you here. There are other ones about what pictures you should use and about using positivity in your profile. But I'm just saying you should be writing a little something, that giving somebody something to grab onto and comment about if they are to reach out to you with a comment. Some of the apps that don't give you loads of information could work perfectly fine if you're willing to go a little bit more slowly and looks are of primary concern. Try that. OkCupid worked for quite some time where I live. That's another one that's sort of in the middle there. They do share personality information there and a lot of details about you, but it's not quite the assessment that you get with Match or eHarmony. But OkCupid's another one to maybe try out as well. Now, if you're more comfortable with somebody who already has some type of a connection to you, that it's not going to be a complete stranger, there is something between you already before you even meet, then you may want to consider Hinge and the Facebook dating app. Facebook is going to feel very comfortable to you, and it's going to use the algorithm on Facebook and the people you know to bring you together with somebody else who also has a Facebook account. And Hinge also, a lot of people aren't aware, but Hinge does, I think it's like friends of friends. They'll skip over your actual friends, but friends of your friends are where they start matching you with people from that group, like once removed. And further, twice, 2, 3 times removed, I guess, as you go along. But if you want to be able to say, oh, hi, my friend Steve, can you tell me, what do you know about John? I just matched with him on Hinge. You would have the opportunity to do so if you were using Hinge as a dating app. You're going to know somebody in common. I should mention that the lower the barrier, the less hoops you will have to jump through, but also more scammers are what you're going to run into. Obviously, if an account is free, it's much easier for scammers to continually throw up new dating profiles rather as they get thrown off and reported and removed from the system. So if you're not paying for it, you're also going to have to be smart about who you're talking to. And you know my rule on that. meet him or delete him. So if somebody is not meeting you within 7 to 10 days, delete the conversation, never to be spoken to, heard from, mentioned, or thought about again. However, I'm thinking that, of course, if big money is involved, of course they will take the time to create a lengthy profile on one of the apps that requires an entire biography and history from you. They'll do that because they're making millions and millions of dollars every year, these scammers. So it's just more likely that in those essay style of profiles, that little bit where you get to write a little blurb or a paragraph about yourself, there may be more clues that this is not a real person, especially with the language barrier of a lot of the scammers coming from another country. You know, like the ones you get in email where there's something not accurate about their English. You know that English isn't their first language. And if this person is saying they live right near you and they speak like they're somebody from another country, there's a nice tip-off for you. But they're going to be everywhere. I just think that more likely you're going to bump into them if there aren't a lot of hoops to jump through. And that's going to happen on apps that you just swipe and don't have to create an in-depth profile. There are a lot of niche sites, and you can Google this because it's honestly, there are hundreds of them at this point. But if you are over 50, there are probably 5 that I can think of dating apps, dating websites that cater to people who are looking for a partner the second time around, our time, silver singles, sites like that. So you can check in there. You might also want somebody who shares an interest of yours. Dating apps that cater to different age differences. You know, I think, something cougars if you're looking to connect with somebody who's a younger man, if you're a middle-aged female. There are people who are into feet. There's all different types of dating apps if there's some niche that you are trying to explore. You might want to do a little Googling before you just jump right in on one. And also, don't forget, you can read reviews online of these to see if they're legitimate and hear other people's opinions. So I'm not going in and giving you deep reviews on all of these. I'm trying to suggest where you may want to start based on what you're looking for. And then I also wanted to mention to you what I say to clients all the time. If we are just having our welcome meeting, speaking for the first time, and they know I'm going to be presenting them with one match every month, unless they are completely burned out and over the dating apps and feel they need to take a hiatus, I encourage them to continue on at least one of the dating apps. And I tell them that everyone I introduce you to as your matchmaker that I'm finding through my special dating database is very likely on one or another dating app, either currently or recently, or will be going back to one soon after a break. Most people are on there. I also tell them that I'm fixing you up with real people. If you hung out at Target for 30 days straight, your match would probably be walking through your Target at some point in time. You don't have time to sit around at Target for a month, 12 hours a day, then get on the dating apps or hire a matchmaker. A side note here, I do have an episode that's about finding somebody if you live more remotely or in a small town. And what I would say in regards to the dating apps, if you live somewhere outside the big cities, somewhere more rural or a smaller town, is to not make a big financial commitment to a dating app until you know who's on there. Don't make a huge investment of time or money into an app, or choose the one that you're going to stick with until you've tried a couple. You want to choose the one that has the most people. You could jump onto OkCupid or Plenty of Fish and find out that everybody in your area is on OkCupid and nobody is on Plenty of Fish. Those both happen to have a free membership. I don't know. I know some of the ones that I've used for free also offer an elevated type membership where you pay for different services. I've never done that, but that's certainly an option if what they're offering is important to you. But don't sign up long term until you know where all the people in your area are hanging out, on which app or which dating site. And I think the rule of thumb there is they should have a larger selection than your local bar on a Friday, Saturday night. You want to at least be able to read through profiles and figure out who you share some interests with or seems to have some of your values or goals as far as what you're looking for in a relationship. And that would save you time from being down at the local bar or pub or club, and make for a less stressful introduction maybe. But that's the rule of thumb. They should have as many or more people than you could find on your own going out on a Friday night with a friend. And then finally, you want the biggest selection possible. As I just said, the most important thing here is that there are enough people for you to sit around on a Sunday night and peruse profiles and be able to have some choice in the matter. If there's like 5 guys within 200 miles, this dating app is not valuable to you. I hope you found some of this interesting or helpful. And remember, Google is your friend. I'm your friend, but Google's smarter than me. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a thumbs up and leave your comments down below. Want to hear what you're thinking? Hit that subscribe button and the ring bell. You're notified every time a new episode goes live. And I'll look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Until then, thank you again and have a good one.